Eric Bailey is really anxious to ask you a question, so we'll start out with him, Tulsa World, and then we'll go to Ryan Aber. Eric?
Thanks, Mike. Hey, Dennis. First of all, congratulations on the promotion. Wanted to ask you, just can you take me back to 2008 and just the relationship you built with Lincoln, both as the receivers coach and then moving to East Carolina with him, how that really set the foundation for you guys working together?
Uh, Lincoln and I actually always had a mutual respect for each other and a good relationship. Going through the whole deal in 2008 with some of the things that went down, and uh, just being there for each other and being there for the guys, the players that we were working with at the time. I think that just helped further strengthening our bond and our brotherhood. And then when we got to East Carolina, I mean, both of us had never lived in the state of North Carolina, so I mean, a lot of times you leave work and work kind of carried home. I mean, we ended up, just hanging out with each other and getting to know each other better, and kind of developed a friendship and strengthened it even more.
Thanks, Dennis. Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll go to Ryan Aber with the Oklahoman, and then Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Dennis, we've seen the group of receiver recruits that you've been able to put together, the years where you've had big time quarterback commits. How does having that big personality, the big time quarterback, help put together a receiver class, like we've seen with Spencer and now Caleb?
I mean, by virtue of the position, that you're going to have to lean and depend on other guys on the field with you, and obviously, there would have been no Jerry Rice without a Steve Young or a Joe Montana. So I mean, I think kids nowadays, especially with the way social media is so actively involved in their life, kind of understand that. So I think when you do have a guy that, much different, like when you and I play football, that you're able to travel to tournaments and do through social media and FaceTime and live. I think you're able to start establishing those relationships a lot easier and quicker nowadays. So obviously, in doing that and being able to play with them, it creates a bond, it creates a brotherhood, a friendship, and you want to carry that on throughout your college career. So I mean, I think it does play a big factor in the recruiting process of not just the receivers, but all of the skill positions.
Appreciate it, Dennis.
Okay, Jason Kersey, the Athletic, and then Kerry Murdoch.
Yeah, Dennis, I wanted to ask you about Cody Jackson. First of all, can you just talk about him as a player and what he brings? And then secondly, when a kid commits as early as he did, I guess he was a sophomore in high school when he committed to you guys, how do you manage that recruitment moving forward? Do you have to continue recruiting him, especially as he's getting other offers? How do you handle
that? Hold your breath. No, I think recruiting, honestly, in my opinion, is a lot like dating. So, I mean, you continue to do a lot of the little things that you did to get that kid interested in your school. Once he says that, hey, I'm going to show my hand, this is where I want to come to school. So I think if anything, even with the way the times are now, when guys do commit to you, when they come to your program, when they're there, I mean, you have to, that relationship and that has to be genuine, first of all, and then it can't end there. All of these guys that are coming to, Power 5 universities are coming for a reason, to get their education, to get developed at their craft, to hopefully move on to the next level. So, I mean, I think, one of the things that you have to continue to show them is, hey, here's ways that I can help you. And I think if you're able to do that and they trust you, then you got a 90% chance of keeping them involved in your program and keeping them around.
Dennis, did you want to talk about Cody?
Cody is a very explosive young man. Uh, we and I was very excited when he did decide that he wanted to come here. I think one of the biggest things that I was kind of nervous about is because, the high school that he came from, obviously having a kid that had come from that high school and had some success, sometimes you start to worry about, well, hey, I want to go and bridge my own gap and go and make my own name. But I mean, uh, CD aided with that of saying, hey, man, you coming here, it's going to be good for you, not just because I came here. And the sky's the limit for Cody as far as his future here and what he can achieve. He did a tremendous job to get all of his academic stuff done to enable him to enroll early. So he is here now and actually worked out and had a good workout this morning, and is just starting to learn the offense and starting to learn our terminology and the way that we do things. I do know from after he committed, when he would go home, when CD would go home, they would talk about some things. So he's got a little foundation or a little baseline of what we call things and how we terminology it just through that relationship as well. But I'm extremely excited to see his future here, and excited to get him out and get spring ball going and see how he can factor in. He's sneaky taller than what I remembered pre-COVID going out to see him. And he's definitely fast enough, so we'll have some more speed out there to be able to stretch the field vertically.
Thanks, Dennis.
Okay, let's go to Kerry Murdoch, Sooner Scoop and WWLS, and then Austin Curtright.
Dennis, is it maybe more common than we think when you have a situation like Billy Bowman that's an athlete that could play on both sides of the ball, or you just spend every day reminding Coach Grinch how deep his secondary has been getting?
No, I think the saying still holds true. All of the guys like the ball in their hands, so I'll let Billy work on that one for me. But no, it's a credit to him. It speaks to who he is as an athlete. And we've had several guys that have been very successful on both sides of the ball that have come in here and try to figure out a package for him to be able to do so.
Is it? I mean, is playing both ways on the table for him?
You know, at this day and age in college football, I'm never going to rule anything out. Also, being on this side of the football deal and knowing, being a football nerd and knowing that other coaches at other programs like to go through and look at these interviews when we play them, I'm probably not going to answer that question for you, but everything is possible. We're not holding back any possibilities.
You just earned that assistant head coach title. Just there. Thanks, Dennis.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your last question.
No, that was good. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, let's go to Austin Curtright with OU Daily, and then John Hoover.
Hey, Dennis, I wanted to ask you about Mario Williams. Him being a early enrollee and, one of the more highly touted guys, what have you kind of seen from him and how excited are you to have him here now?
Well, we've had a couple of early morning workouts, so not just myself, but I think the rest of the staff and some of the current players have seen how explosive he truly is. So that's a positive plus. You know, Mario has one of those personalities that is very enduring and people just gravitate to him. So I mean, he's kind of like Baker was. He makes workouts, makes practice, he makes all of that stuff fun because he's always gonna have a smile on his face. He's always, you know, eager to get everybody excited and going. So it's been a pleasure having him here so far. And much like Cody, I look forward to seeing, when we're able to get out there and get the pass on to see, where we stack up and where's the starting point at with them.
Okay, let's go to John Hoover, SI Sooners, and then Brandon Drum.
Hey, Dennis, um, take me back to, what National Signing Day looked like 5 years ago, even 2 years ago, when you guys had the big run up in January, and compare that to mechanically, logistically, and ultimately how you guys executed this year, pulling off because of the transfer portal, and you got so many guys in December. You got guys leaving through the transfer portal, so you don't know exactly what your needs are going to be. How do you recruit in January with all that stuff going on, all those bullets flying around?
Well, it just makes recruiting kind of a everyday revolving door. I would say, you asked about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I probably wouldn't have slept last night. Where now, signing day, you pretty much, you know what you're gonna get, and for the most part, you already have it have it here on campus, or feel very firm about having it in the boat. Uh, a lot of less travel this past year as compared to years in the past, and you know the whole COVID deal has taught you to think outside of the box. You find more ways to come, be creative. You find more ways to be able to connect with people. Honestly, for an old guy like myself, it makes you become more youthful, because now you're forced to deal with the Instagrams, the Twitters, and more of the, say, youthful technology that normally you're like, oh, okay, well, that's nice. But now it kind of forces you into that world on a daily basis, because uh, you have to stay relevant, and you really want to stay in contact with these guys.
Quick follow-up. Does that have anything to do with the number of preferred walk-ons we're seeing either come in early or announce, or is that more of a product of just social media and kids are saying, hey, I'm a preferred walk-on at Oklahoma?
I think that's more of a product of social media, and giving guys an opportunity to you know be recognized for their hard work, and kind of celebrating and relishing in their accomplishments as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Brandon Drum, OU Insider, and then James Hale.
Hey Dennis, congratulations on the promotion. Did you guys, Jaden Hazelwood didn't show up or went back home for the bowl game? How's he look so far as his knee and his progress as far as rehabbing? And there's another guy that you guys brought in that doesn't get talked about a whole lot in the 2021 class, and that's Jalil Farouk. Can you kind of address him and what he brings to the table?
Okay, with Jalil is hasn't graduated yet, so he will be coming in the summer. Look forward to getting him in here. He actually, they're on slate to have a spring season, so he will have 6 games this spring. Hopefully, if we're able to get out, I may have an opportunity to actually go see him play live. A guy that's versatile, can play both the slot and play on the outside. Extremely excited to get him in here. Has a very high catch radius, and then just able to create once he catches the ball after the catches as well. He's doing pretty well. Talked to him the other day. They got dumped with a whole bunch of snow, so he was basically just trying to stay dry and warm the last time I talked to him. As far as Jaden Hazelwood, the rehab is going great. He's in there busting his butt, working hard. Was at workouts this morning, was at the team meeting this morning, and is looking forward to competing and getting ready to really get back on track from where he left off on his freshman year.
Thanks, Dennis.
Okay, a couple more here. James Hale, KREF, and then Barry Trammell.
Hey, Dennis, congratulations on all the good things happening for you, man. And, I'm curious, you get Hazelwood, as you just pointed out, Trajan Bridges, who, I understand balled all the time on the scout team and things like that, but now he's back in the fold. Last year was a good year for you guys, maybe not a great year, but a good year because of a couple of drop passes. I'm curious, how important is this off season and getting into spring and really get rocking and rolling again?
It's extremely important. Obviously, as a coach, you're going to remember all of those drop passes. I think somebody on this call wrote about at least 5 of them, but I won't say no names. But yeah, you're gonna remember all of those. And you're going to remember some of the hidden yardage that you left out on the field. So I mean that's what we're in the process of going through now, is going back and doing self-evaluation on what we did last year and figuring out ways, that I could put these guys in better positions to improve and be able to be more successful on the field, and be what can they do to improve and be more successful on the field, but the front end of that, and the biggest thing is, we all sat down and agreed that, we're not going to make excuses for why we weren't successful or why we didn't have the numbers that we want. We're going to sit down and figure out and take the steps toward what we need to do to become successful. And like I said, it's not it's not an elephant in the room, and it's not something that we've danced around. We know about the most drop touchdowns in the red zone. We know about all of the stats where we weren't where we pride ourselves in being, and we're gonna do and work hard to correct those.
Thanks, man.
Barry Trammell, the Oklahoman.
Yeah, Dennis, I was wondering, what are your aspirations as far as being a head coach? And with all the talk about some of the barriers still in existence for Black coaches to ascend in the industry, what kind of things still need to happen so that we have better representation of Black coaches at the head coaching job?
Do I aspire to be a head coach one day? Yes. Right now, my aspirations is just to be the best receiver coach at the University of Oklahoma that I possibly can. And I think in doing that, I'm a firm believer that, God puts opportunities in your life at a particular time for a particular reason when you're ready for them. So if and when that opportunity presents me, I feel like every day I'm here working with great individuals, learning something new and learning something better every day. So I feel like, when that opportunity presents itself, that I will be ready for it. And, I don't want to just be, get that opportunity because of, my skin color. I want to get it because, someone feels like that I deserve that opportunity and that I'm worthy of it. And, when I do happen to get that opportunity, if it's meant for me, I want to make the best of that opportunity and not just be known as, a good minority coach, but, much like the two guys that I've worked for here, consider one of the best to ever done it in the business.